Okay. Okay. Yeah, Serenity, I guess you are the first to arrive. I'm just trying to look at... It seems like a lot to remember. E to present. Have. Move cursors. Rotate evidence. Why is rotate evidence HNMB? That is so strange. Is this a game where I'm gonna want to use a controller to play? What would I... I don't even know what that means. I'm just gonna leave it where it was. I'll be completely real here, I've never played this game, but I do at least want to see what this game is like because it's been on my wish list for quite some time. I have never played any of these games either. My main concern is that I know they have a lot of reading. Which is fine if you're playing on your own, but when you're streaming and you're like reading everything out loud, it can be really straining on your voice. I'm also just... I mean, it's fine, but let me... I guess I'm just gonna use mouse and keyboard, because my Pro controller isn't even being recognized by this, so I guess it's just mouse and keyboard. And hopefully the input options just come on screen, because I already don't remember anything, to be honest. Maybe we could just click. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulation. I'm so disappointed that no one ever uses... Because there's a Metallica album called And Justice for All. And I used to think it was Injustice for All, but it's not. And then, here again, I would have liked if they used Injustice. Because it's kind of ironic, you know? Because Justice for All is pretty generic of a title. Not gonna lie. But anyways, we're playing the first one. Episode 1, the first turnabout. We have a man walking. Some lift on his shoes. Gotta give him at least an extra inch. There's an upside down lady. There is the Thinker statue, and there is a really happy businessman. Interesting that the title card would be vertical like that, because wasn't this game originally for the Game Boy Advance and for the DS? Damn it, why me? Does someone hit her with the miniature statue of the Thinker? Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Wait, so we know who the murderer is right away? Someone like him. Just a guy who's walking. I'll make it look like he did it. So far this has the writing of like a PBS Kids show, like for 3-year-olds. Except they murdered someone. Oh no, I have murdered someone. What shall I do? Perhaps I shall pin it on someone else. Um, as an attorney, Phoenix. Oh, I thought you were saying you were an attorney at first. Phoenix is more concerned with dealing out justice than injustice. Okay, so that would be the spin-off game where you play as his rival. Anyways, August 3rd, 9 in the morning, District Court, Defendant Lobby 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Ding! Why was the Game Boy Advance, like, power on sound effect? Oh, hiya, Chief. Ooh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. So this must be his first, or one of his first trials, I'm guessing. It says a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like it could be kind of abrasive for people, so hopefully it's not too loud. Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I had an old dog, Coco. He was, this big, like, chubby, half Chihuahua, half Terrier, I think. And as he got older, he went really deaf, so he couldn't hear very well. But one thing he could hear was like a really high-pitched, like a ding kind of noise. And my default ringtone, text message tone at the time was like a ding. And when it would go off, he would like, kind of, like startle him because it's like just silence and then suddenly he hears something, so it would catch him off guard. So I changed my text tone just so that it wouldn't bother him. That's what it reminds me of. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death, despair. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna do it? Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah, that sounds like... I like how there's a portrait of Resident Evil 4's village in the background. That's pretty nice. See that picture hanging? Yeah, sigh. Nick. Hey there, Larry. Is he okay? Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Oh god. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. This is probably the worst client we could have started off with, isn't it? It is a Capcom game, you're right. What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh. So he knew the deceased. Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me, who took my baby away? That person responsible for your girlfriend's death. Oh, it was his girlfriend. The newspapers say it was you. Well. Wait, Phoenix's first name is Nick? His name is Nick? Wait, no, he's Nick. I'm so confused. Did he not- what just happened? My name's Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. She did. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I see. Nick is a bad name for Phoenix. Yeah, that's a really bad nickname. Nick Phoenix. Oh, yeah. He had to have had a different name in the Japanese version, right? What could be a better name than Phoenix? A better nickname. Uh Even Fee, right? I don't know. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Well, in the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. Larry Butts has bad luck. Phoebe, if Phoenix was a girl. Ryuichi Naruhodo? Oh, he has a whole different name in Japanese. I have a love-hate relationship with Capcom, but I won't get into it right now. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart, that I owe him one, which is why I took the case to clear his name, and that's just what I'm going to do. So, a few minutes have passed. Oh, jeez. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. So, in the original Game Boy Advance game, and probably the DS port, the game was like sprite. I guess it would have been pixel art, right? And so in the this is like a remaster version that they've transferred, they've redone it, and seems like some kind of vector art, or just, I don't know what you would call it other than that, vector art. Dot sprites, dot pixels. Ugh. Is there a general consensus on what the fans prefer, or is it just, is it all the same to them? The prosecution's ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. See, that's the thing. I can't see the limitations of the art. You said you could very easily, very clearly, but I don't. To me, it almost looks like you could keep zooming in, and it would just be like the resolution wouldn't go down at all. But I can't zoom in, so I can't really test that out. I guess maybe the shading might imply that it's not vector art. I feel like I don't usually see that kind of shading. Like, but anyway. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. So for this first case, we don't have any evidence, and we don't have... Unless the case takes place over multiple days, but I get the feeling, since it's the first case, it's just kind of a trial. It's kind of like a tutorial. Mr. Wright sounds awfully close to Mr. White.
Jesse, we have to become a lawyer.
But Mr. White, we can't be one lawyer with two people.
We'll just wear a big lawyer suit, and we'll just look like a really big lawyer. And then you can give me the answers, Jesse.
Anyways, we have to answer these questions. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Mia Fey. I mean Larry Butts. Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Good job, buddy. It really is like a PBS show. Like, they turn to the camera. Do you know who's the defendant in this case? By the way, naruhodo is a Japanese expression equivalent to the way you would say right when someone's talking / explaining something to you. Naruhodo. Really, it's a 4-syllable word that you would say as someone's explaining something to you and you're telling them they're right? That's a lot. Because the thing with the word right, if someone's talking to you and you're like kind of, you know, making sure that they know you're listening, you're just kind of right. Yeah. So you're not really interrupting them, but you're just letting them know you're paying attention. But naruhodo, if used in that same way, would be like quite a long word. I don't know if it's one word or not, it's a thing you would say. Maybe like at the end of someone's explanation, you would say that. As in like, you are absolutely correct, sir. Or madam. Or inanimate object. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Uh-oh. I did not read the case report. It's wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. We have to use a process of elimination, don't we? I just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. I feel like if the lawyer kept pulling out the court record to look at before saying really simple things, that might deduct some points. I see what you mean, though. Phoenix Wright. You know, I'm surprised that they didn't do a Better Call Saul game where you're defending people. That would be awesome. They should do that. Attorney J at law. That's me. Attorney's badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. There's like a whole second between clicking on something and it like switching over to it. That's weird how unresponsive that is for just a menu. Click, click, click. So just so you could hear the timing of that. Cindy's autopsy report. Well, we have Cindy's autopsy report, but it doesn't list her name anywhere in here, so we're just gonna have to make a guess, I guess. Bad. Mia Fey. My boss. Oh, she's only 27. I thought she was gonna be like a lot older since she seemed to be our mentor. Very good defense attorney. Very Butts. Likeable guy has been my friend since grade school. You say he's a likable guy, but everyone said if something smells, it's probably him. I guess you could be likable and smelly, but... Stone, the victim of the case, a model, she lived in an apartment. But see, this is all well and good that we get this description, but what's her name? Winston Payne, the prosecutor for this case, lacks presence, generally bad at getting his points across. the good tutorial boss. If I just think of this game as a boss rush and the prosecutors are the bosses, then I will increase my score of this game by a lot. I didn't even see this guy when I was making my Harvey Birdman review, and I was making it as if I was playing Phoenix Wright. I don't remember. This guy must not show up ever again, if I had to make a guess. Whoops. Cindy's. I literally almost clicked Cinder Block, unironically. Cindy Stone. Once again, though, we actually could have guessed this by process of elimination. Okay, her name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit by a blunt object. I mean, I saw that in the opening cutscene. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution, Mr. Payne. I already can feel my voice straining. We're only 20 minutes in. This isn't a good sign. Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It's a miniature statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. This would be a good, like, if you bought the special edition of Phoenix Wright, just a miniature statue Thinker. I think that would be a good little freebie. I see, the court accepts it to evidence. Rather heavy. Right, be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. Evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Okay, so we do have evidence. Uh-oh. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. Prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention, you don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. Winston himself doesn't come back, but it's him wearing a wig or his grandpa or his brother. He's like the Glass Joe of the Phoenix Wright games. Although there's only ever been Glass Joe, and then in Super Punch-Out, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But instead of like, oh, maybe it's Glass Joe's like apprentice, no, it's Glass Joe's trainer. Like Glass Joe's like mentor is the guy you fight in Super Punch-Out for some reason. Inexplicably. Because he's a much older gentleman. And I think they say that the only person Glass Joe beat was him. That's why Glass Joe has one win. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything. Unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Yeah, Larry likes to kind of scream that he's going to die and to give him the death penalty. Inexplicably. Like, without... Oh gosh, he's already twitching. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra, and Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony? And Cleopatra, okay. Didn't they all die? Wasn't it Cleopatra and Julius Caesar? And also, never mind. I wasn't dumped, she just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumb. In fact, she'd completely abandoned you, and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it lies, I don't believe a word of it. I don't know, this seems like a good prosecutor so far. He's getting the defendant to just lose his mind. The victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. That looks like a oh, it is. It's a United States passport. Wait a second, where does this game take place? Oh. It's one of those things where they regionalized it so that it takes place in the US in the Western version of the game. But in Japan, it probably takes place in Japan. Cleopatra famously had a thing with I don't know who Mark Anthony is. That sounds like someone born in 1975, not someone back in the Cleopatra days. We're in Los Angeles even, okay. Yeah, because that looks exactly like my passport I have right next to me here. Anyway, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears she had several sugar daddies. Oh god. Wow, we... Daddies? Sugar? Wow, this game was really ahead of its time. I'm just kidding. I know sugar daddies has been a thing for a long time, but I feel like that's more in the vernacular of like pop culture nowadays than it was back then. Older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude. We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? This guy's a great prosecutor. What was the tutorial saying? He's gonna get Mr. Butts to just lose his mind and screw up his case. Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I? I kinda want to see what he says. Even though that's not what we should do. I don't know how... it wouldn't make me lose from one bad mistake, right? We're fighting the asylum demon. What do you guys think? Should we hear what Larry has to say? I'm gonna do it, screw it. Might be better not to get involved in this one. That's the worst thing a lawyer could say. Yeah, let's not get involved with our defendant's case. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, no way. That cheat and she-dog. I'm gonna die. I just gotta drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? Oh, I don't think we lost any health for that. I believe the accused motives is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Cool. Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. That is not how you're supposed to answer. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Yeah, he needs to answer honest. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Is that the signal for tell the truth? Slam both hands on desk. Scratch chin, point. Now we all know the universal signs for tell the truth. Yeah, I was there, I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so like, I didn't see her. Oh my god! That was the most disgusting objection scream I've ever heard. I've heard like the sound clip, like the objection and stuff. I've never heard. That sounded like Goku's Japanese voice actor screaming objection. That was terrifying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Oh, that's not suspicious. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Oh my god. Saw it? Like he saw it happen? Look at this guy. Mr. Sawit, you tell newspaper subscriptions. You sell them, is that correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I wonder if, we'll find like fingerprint evidence that his fingerprint is on the statue but not on the phone, so he lied. I remember the time exactly. Also, how could he not find, he can't find the strength to come into the apartment, but then he claims he tried to use the phone. I'm already finding holes in this guy's story. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. It can't be every character's name. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't... Hey, what the heck? I told him to tell the truth and he didn't. Unless he did tell the truth. I guess we'll find out. Why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Not in the US. Not in LA. Yes, Your Honor. However, that seems like a Japanese thing that carried over. Some cordless phones do not function normally. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. I've never heard of a phone line still working during a blackout. A blackout's a blackout. Everything's down. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal? Oh, perusal, like you're perusing. It was out from noon to 6 p.m. And Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor? You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, right. Alright. This is it, the real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? You expose the lies in the testimony that the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client's innocent, right? Then the witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Alright, let's look at our evidence. Okay, so she died on the 31st between 4 and 5 p.m. Wait, but that guy said it was at 1 p.m. So that's already not right. He came home the 30th. So that lines up. I mean, I guess that's the only... So far, that's the only discrepancy, is that the autopsy says she died between 4 and 5. And Mr. Sawit said he saw it at 1 p.m. You said, really? You don't know that they do that? Only if it's a landline, though. We still have a landline phone. We've had landline phones my whole life, and they never worked during the blackout. Maybe it depends on how your power goes out. Because there's different ways, there's different things that could cause a blackout, right? The only thing I noticed during a blackout is that the gas is usually still on. So you can potentially still use the stove, but you just need... The only thing is you need to use like a lighter, because you don't have the spark from the stove without the electricity. But anyways, the only discrepancy I can see so far is what he claimed the time of the murder was, and also he said he didn't go into the apartment, but then he also said he tried the phone. So that's the only two things I can think of right now. Rub it in the witness's face. That seems a little unprofessional, but okay. Hey, Connie's Fatima. Welcome. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Open the court record with tab, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. Witness's account. Going door to door selling subscriptions, saw a man fleeing an apartment. Okay. Wait a second, so you press escape for options, you press Q for press? What does that mean? Press Q to do what? Tab is present. We're gonna give him a present? This game's confusing. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quelled in fright, found myself unable to go inside. Okay, so this is the part we want to contradict. So, but do I... Okay. So do we want to press them about this, or do I wait until he says he didn't use the phone? Because then I don't know. I had this problem playing Harvey Birdman too, where I wasn't sure exactly which sentence sometimes to call him out on. Because here he says, I couldn't go inside. But do I need to wait until he also says he checked the phone? Do the evidence contradiction first? I don't know which line to do the evidence contradiction on. Oh, when he says 1 p.m., right? Okay, so we'll do that one then. That's way at the end of it, isn't it? Oh, here we go. So, Q? Hold it. 1 p.m., are you certain? Yes, absolutely. Seems really confident. 1 p.m. Right, doesn't that seem strange to you? Alright. So this says she died. Found the body at 1 p.m., are you sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was nobody or no body to find at 1 p.m. Phoenix, don't make a pun when you're talking about a dead person that was murdered. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Uh-oh. Oh, that. Oh, This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? That's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradiction. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Alright, let's... So he's gonna make more lies to cover up the lies. When I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, yeah, during the blackout? Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Dude, this guy's so dumb. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. You heard a voice saying the time on the tape program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right, you know what to do. I've got this one. It was probably coming from the television. Alright, here we go. So press, right? Because I don't think there's evidence of the blackout. That's just something... Wait, was there evidence of... Uh-oh, I don't remember. I forgot if it was brought up that there was a blackout or if there's actual physical evidence that mentions the blackout. Oh, there is, okay. Oh yeah, here it is. Hold on, the prosecution said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. Yeah, if someone was in court, like, having these, like, spasms and stuff, I would be very concerned. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. Oh my god. Changing his story like 3 times. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. What? The clock wasn't the weapon? That must have been what I saw. Saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Actually, I didn't hear the time I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used to hit the victim. Dude, this guy is out of control. We already know that this is the murder weapon. Oh wait, I guess we don't know. Because it doesn't even mention that this is the murder weapon. So actually, I don't know if I should be presenting this right now. I feel like I need to press him about it first. I'm gonna press him first. The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. Surely they would have found her blood on the murder weapon, right? Alright, I'm gonna bring up this. Because it doesn't even mention that this was the murder weapon here. So I guess we're the one who's going to suggest it. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock, it was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? Uh-oh. You with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? A lawyer? Just answer the question, Mr. Solid. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch, just tilted and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. What? I see. So that's a horrible clock. You have to, like, press on it to, like, know what time it is. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. How would you know that? Yes, yes. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his... So that's where the going into the apartment part comes in. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. Yo, Phoenix is getting his confidence here quickly. You struck her with the clock and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. It said 1 o'clock because the power went out, maybe? Understandable, since the murder weapon you spoke just as you hit the victim. You know, you would think you would have hit the victim with one of the sharp corners of the base, the heavy base, but instead he hit the victim with the top part of it, which is kind of funny. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Yeah, bruh. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard... No, I mean I saw... What? Shut up, I hate you. Why did he rip his... I assume that was a toupee. I hope that was a toupee. I hope he didn't just rip off the whole top of his hair. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death. Goodness, I did not expect that. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor? You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Examine the clock's batteries? Well, see, I feel like if I try sounding the clock, it won't make a noise, and then I have to examine the battery. Because why is it asking to examine the batteries suddenly? So I think what happens is you would go try sounding the clock first, so they could show you what happens when you mess up and lose health, and then you check the batteries. So I'm gonna just go right for the batteries. The batteries are in the right way. The clock seems to be working fine. The clock was working fine. Yes, and... What? Well, that's the point. It would work because it was during a blackout, but the clock was battery powered. Mr. Wright, I expect more from a lawyer of this court. I don't know how Phoenix Wright didn't put that together. That's the whole point. Okay, well, the whole point I was trying to avoid that, but never mind. Okay, try sounding the clock. Why would they mention the clock's batteries and also that there was a blackout if that wasn't relevant to each other? I asked the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Also, he said the wrong time, because didn't the case start at like 10? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? 11:25. Back. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow, precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. Haha. Forgot one thing. What's he talking about now? Well, it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? You can't prove that, you don't have a case. What are you talking about? I would not say he's right. I feel like that's enough. Damn it, I was so close. Seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. Really? What? This judge kind of sucks, doesn't he? Like, it just so happens the clock is 3 hours late today, but it wouldn't be yesterday, and that guy was exactly 3 hours late. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal. Your lawyers are all slime. Or I almost had him. Sorry, Larry, I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. So I'm guessing this is gonna go to day 2? Oh. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Uh-oh. Yeah, I mean Chief. Oh yeah, I meant to say indict. Don't throw this one away, not like this, think. Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow. Think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Well, it can't be because of the blackout, because we've confirmed that the clock has working batteries. So if that's the answer, this is gonna be really bad. But I'm just gonna say yes, because we need to get it right. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Oh, I know why. It's maybe she took the clock with her to, where she was going? Because it said she was in Paris, right? Oh, but that's not right at all, because if we're in LA right now, Paris would be like 8 hours ahead. So there wouldn't be a 3 hour difference. Japan's about 12 hours ahead, so between Paris and Japan, that would have been better, but since we're in LA, that can't be it. Have you found evidence to support this claim? There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim without a doubt. Tough words, let's see you pull this one off. I would be really upset if the blackout is what caused it, because we already checked that the clock has batteries. The statue has nothing to do with it. The only thing I can think of is the time difference from her being in Paris, but once again, Paris to LA, that wouldn't be 3 hours. I'm just going to assume that it's supposed to be the time difference, but I don't really get why the time, I don't see how the time would literally line up, but I'm just going to assume that that's what the answer is, because I don't know what else it could be. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, also, if that clock is that heavy that you could kill someone with it, would you really want to take an item that's heavy with you on a trip? Like, that would be like really unnecessarily extra weight to your luggage. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. Oh, because the thinker doesn't specify if it's AM or PM. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours. Okay, so it's 9 hours ahead. I knew it was about 8 hours just because I know the UK is 8 hours ahead, but I wasn't exactly sure. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you. Mr. Saw it, or should I say, Mr. Did It? Oh my god! He died. He foamed from the mouth. I think he took a cyanide pill, which has happened in court before. Holy crap, did you guys see this game? What is this game rated again? One thing if you're solving murder cases, but that guy clearly just took a cyanide pill in the middle of court. Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. He probably had one of those, like, fake teeth that he released the capsule into his mouth with his tongue. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Now, I'm not a law expert, but can you actually arrest someone in the middle of court who wasn't up as, who wasn't being accused in the first place? Like, if suddenly evidence came out that, like, we're pretty sure this one person who wasn't being accused is the person who did it. Wouldn't you have to, like, set up a whole new court date or something? I don't know, though. I don't really know how it works. Yes, Your Honor. I have to say I'm impressed. Especially in the US, because in the US, the legal system is like, excruciatingly slow. But maybe in other places it would work like that. Yeah, I know that being arrested isn't the same as being put on trial, but could you arrest someone for that reason? What I'm wondering. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Buds, guilty. Ye without sin. Wait, how does it go? Crap. There's a thing in Big O where it's like he without sin declare ye not guilty or something. Whenever he uses Big O. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. It turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. I know that you can arrest people in court when they're like being incontent or like, you know, if they're causing trouble. I guess he kind of was. He was going he threw a deadly object at Phoenix. I'm sure you do, Gobble. Do you have to declare that ye not guilty first? Why didn't they check for fingerprints? Yeah, that's a good question. I think in this world you're not allowed to check for fingerprints. Woo, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. I don't like this guy. Good. Wait, no, I mean bad, bad, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Well, I don't know if I like the implication that it's okay she was murdered because she had a lot of sugar daddies. Or maybe they're just trying to say maybe he shouldn't feel so bad because they clearly weren't in a serious relationship like he thought they were. Didn't she lock her door and screw? I don't know. I guess she must have left her door unlocked, huh? Unless Larry did, and then it's kind of... Oh no! What if Larry had a key to the apartment, and he left the door unlocked, which let the guy in to murder her, so he technically would be at fault, even if, unwillingly. I don't think this case is quite over yet. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Harry? Thanks. I really owe you one. Isn't his name Larry? Am I going insane right now? I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. Why does he have possession of the clock? A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Oh, I see. Really, you made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. This is so disturbing. Let's keep this as... Remember that one case we saw where that lady was murdered? Oh, this was the murder weapon, basically. This is a copy of the murder weapon. That'll be nice to remember. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And he was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry, sob? Larry. Are you so sure? Squeeze me? Oh god. I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Does she always say that? Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? What? He just got over her, and now you're gonna give him evidence that she actually cared about him, so he'll want to die again? I think that Phoenix and Mia are just psychopaths, is the takeaway I'm getting from this first case. Huh? Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? I guess the fact that she kept the statue? Oh, she took it with her. Which it's really heavy. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? Pretty heavy clock to take that's exactly what I was saying. But here's the thing, Larry is in a good position mentally right now that he's over her. Why are you doing this? Well, make of it what you will. Hey Nick, I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am, thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Ever. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. So how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Did she just call him that as a joke? Or yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime, maybe. Over drinks? And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. Oh boy. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Uh-oh. The end. Oh, I beat the game. Oh, that wasn't too bad. A brand new episode has been added. Turnabout Sisters. No, I didn't mean to click on it. Save your progress, yes. Oh, jeez. We hadn't even saved our progress. I didn't want to go right into the next episode because... Did it go right into the next episode? I was just trying to click off the little notification. Oh god, it's like... Because I was thinking I might stop here. But I wanted to know how many episodes are there and how long is each episode. Because I would guess that the first episode's probably the short one, right? Because it's just kind of a tutorial. So I don't know if I'm gonna... do a second episode right now. Yeah, I'm guessing the episodes will probably be around 2 hours, if I had to guess. So I might save the episode 2 for tomorrow. And also, I'm kind of starving right now. I like took a nap through dinner and lunch. So yeah, I think this is just going to be a short stream, but I will continue this tomorrow. I just don't know. Can I back out here? Hello, this is May. What What's up? You haven't called in a while. If I backed out here and loaded in, would it come right back to this scene here? Unfortunately, I can't. I don't have an option to go to like a menu or anything right now. I'm gonna assume since it's saved, I should be good. So, alright, I'm gonna wrap up here. It's gonna be a short stream, but I will try to do another one. And you know what I might have to do is get some hot tea or something in preparation for the next stream so that my voice is all like coated with soothingness. No, escape doesn't do anything. That's what I've been trying. I was wanting to back into the menu because I wanted to see if I could look through all the episodes. Like, not look through them, but see, like, count them and stuff. But right now, it's not letting me do anything. But let me see real quick if I can just... Okay, yeah, now it's not letting me... Okay. Alright, we'll continue this tomorrow probably, so... Thank you all for joining. And I'll see you again soon. Have a good night.